Aloha, Commanders, and welcome to Later Tonight with Dr. Iron Chef, hosted on Aloha Diz.
Please be sure to follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube for all the latest content. Today we discuss the new blog post from Beck of Star Trek Fleet Command.
Yeah, we're diving deep into a really important update. This new GS-31 Ship Parts Refinery. Beck's post makes it sound like a potential game changer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for getting parts for that new GS-31 Interceptor.
Right, the Grade 4 one, the one for Apex Raiders.
That's the one. It's, built to handle those guys. We're talking gravitational blast that goes right through shields.
Ooh, bypasses shields. Nice.
Yeah, and it chains. Plus it has passives like Apex Shred and marked for disposal. Yeah. So upgrading it, pretty crucial.
Okay, sounds powerful. So this refinery, is it really the key? Is it going to make upgrading less of a headache? Because parts are always a grind.
Well, that seems to be the main goal Beck laid out. It's designed to be like the best source for parts, and importantly, not just for the GS-31.
Oh.
Think of it more like a central hub. Parts for explorers, interceptors, battleships, survey ships, different grades too.
So trying to streamline things a bit.
Exactly. Less hunting around, hopefully.
All right, interesting. Now, the post mentions a tiered progression. How does that work for us?
Okay, so this is pretty neat. The refinery tiers unlock based on your operations level.
Right.
So as you level up the refinery, you unlock parts grades that are relevant to where you are in the game.
Ah, so no more G2 parts when I'm trying to build a G5 ship.
Pretty much. It keeps the rewards focused.
Yeah.
Beck specifically mentions getting the GS-31 Warp Core at Tier 4, but you need G5 ops for that.
Okay.
And for Tier 10's Warp Core, you got to be G6, so it gates things appropriately.
That makes sense. A targeted approach is definitely needed. But what about, our older ships? Does this help with those epics we're still plugging away at? The multi-grade support thing?
Yes, and this is actually, I think, really clever. The refinery doesn't just give you parts for your current grade. It also guarantees common, uncommon, and rare parts for the previous grades relevant to your ops level.
Oh, really? So while I'm chasing G5 parts, I might still get some G4 stuff.
Exactly. So you can keep improving those older epic ships, those workhorses, while you're pushing forward. It helps build out the whole fleet, not just this shiny new toy.
Okay, that's actually huge. Finally give some love to the backlog. All right, what about this GS-31 Strongbox they mentioned? Sounds like that's where the loot's at.
Yeah, that seems to be the main reward container from the refinery. Beck's post says it contains, obviously, GS-31 parts themselves.
That you need, yeah.
But maybe even more critical are these Covert Modifications.
Covert Modifications, what do they do?
They unlock new research nodes, specifically for the GS-31. We can talk more about that, but it's key to boosting its abilities.
Ah, specialized research. Got it. Anything else in the box?
Yep. Also, GS-31 recycle tokens. You can apparently trade those in for, you guess it, more ship parts.
More parts is always good. So the Strongbox fuels the ship and its special research. Okay, let's dig into the numbers. Big provided tables, right? Payouts by tier and ops level.
That's right. They have some pretty detailed examples.
Can you walk us through one, like tier 1 for different ops levels?
Sure. Okay, so tier 1, if you're a G4 commander, ops 45 to 50, you get 3 to 120 common, 650 uncommon, and 90 rare parts.
Okay, baseline.
But here's that multi-grade support. A G5 commander, ops 5160 at the same tier 1, gets all that plus an extra 2160 common parts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And a G6 commander, ops 61 plus at tier 1, gets another 980 common and 155 uncommon on top of everything else.
So even at the lowest tier, higher ops players get a bonus for their lower grade needs. That's actually pretty generous.
Yeah, it seems designed to help everyone catch up or fill gaps.
What about higher up, say, tier 6? How do the numbers look there? Mostly G5 range, right?
Right. Tier 6 is mainly ops 5160. So let's see. A G4 commander, that ops range gets 4,800 common, 155 uncommon, 135 rare. A G5 in that range gets those G4 amounts, plus an additional 50-40 common, 165 uncommon, and 70 rare.
Getting quite substantial now.
And the G6 commander in that range adds another 2,000 common, 420 uncommon, and 25 rare. You really see the scaling kick in.
Definitely. And for the top dogs, the G6 folks, what's a high tier look like? Maybe tier 11.
Okay, tier 11, that's ops 61 and up, prime G6 territory. So a G4 commander still gets their base.
Yeah.
4,800 common, 155 uncommon, 135 rare.
Even at tier 11, wow.
Yep. Then the G5 commander adds 7,000 common, 1,520 uncommon, 95 rare.
Okay.
And finally, the G6 commander at tier 11 pulls in their specific edition, 3,390 common, 720 uncommon, and 45 rare.
So add all that up. That's a lot of parts across multiple grades.
Exactly. Beck emphasizes that at each tier, you get the sum of parts for all the segments relevant to your ops level below, and including your current one. It constantly supports old and new needs.
This sounds like it could seriously change how we manage upgrades. So how do we really, maximize this, make the most of the refinery?
Well, the blog points to those covert modifications as being absolutely vital.
For the research, right?
Yeah. You have to use them to unlock the GS-31 specific research nodes, things that boost the gravitational blast like more damage, more chain targets, and just make the ship better overall.
So getting the ship is step 1, using the refinery for modifications to power it up is step 2.
Pretty much, especially if you wanted to really shine against those apex raiders, which is its whole point.
Makes sense. What else?
The post also suggests this whole system should help smooth out the transitions between G4, G5, and G6.
A smoother transition. Music to my ears. Less getting stuck, hopefully.
That seems to be the idea. Fewer bottlenecks because you're consistently getting relevant parts across the board.
Fantastic. Any other tips or synergies mentioned?
Just a quick mention, but potentially important, using specific Section 31 officers.
Oh, like who?
S-31 Georgie, Quasi, and El Sahar. Using them with a GS-31 apparently gives a big boost to its apex shred ability.
Ah, so some crew synergy to think about when kitting it out. Good to know.
Adds another layer of strategy.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big picture here? The main thing commanders should take away.
I think the core message is this GS-31 refinery isn't just another building. It's a significant upgrade to how we get ship parts.
More targeted, less random.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Targeted for the GS-31, yes, but also supporting your whole fleet with that tiered multi-grade system. It should mean, a smoother upgrade path.
Fewer headaches, less grind.
That's the promise.
Yeah.
Less time hunting parts, more time, hopefully, using the ships effectively.
Yeah.
Especially that powerful GS-31.
Right. It frees you up to focus on strategy. Which actually leads to a good thought for everyone listening.
Yeah.
With this refinery potentially making it easier to get the GS-31 parts and those covert modifications for its research, how might that change your approach to things like solo wave defense?
Good question.
Could that boosted gravitational blast, maybe combined with those S-31 officers enhancing apex shred, could that be the key to cracking some really tough content you've been stuck on? Something to definitely mull over.
Yeah, definitely food for thought.
Be sure to follow Dr. Iron Chef on Twitch and subscribe to Aloha Diz on YouTube.
Mahalo for joining us.
Yeah.